These are some items I purchased at my most recent visit to the Dollar Tree. I went in and decided to pick up some items that I can make decorative cupcakes with. So I went in, and if it looked interesting, if it looked like it was something I could turn into something, then I purchased it. I found some cotton candy and some marshmallow emoji unicorn colors. The first cupcake I came up with was a unicorn. And to make the unicorn cupcake, I used a package of Hostess cupcakes. I placed one in this silver plastic ramekin I found at the Dollar Tree, and then I coated it with this Pillsbury Funfetti icing. The cupcake was a little smaller than the ramekin, but once I started putting the icing on it, it filled in the crevices, and it actually worked out really well. And besides, you just can't go wrong with a Hostess cupcake. Next, I took this unicorn marshmallow emoji, and I thought it would make a really nice looking unicorn horn. So I took one, trying to make it a little longer and narrow, and then I just stuck it right on the edge of the cupcake. Next, I wanted to add some ears for the unicorn, so I used these starburst pieces. They were hard as a rock, but once I started playing with it, it seemed to work out. And then I used this knife, and you'll see I'm not very safe with the knife. Luckily, I didn't cut a finger off. And I didn't have a plan when I started this. I just grabbed a bunch of things, and I thought it would be a fun project to try to make cupcakes out of just Dollar Tree items. And I really didn't know what I was going to make before I started. Now I'm adding some pink to highlight the yellow ears. Now I have the ears finished, and I'm just going to add those to the cupcake right next to the unicorn horn. So far, this is what we have. Next, I'm going to grab the bag of cotton candy, again at the Dollar Tree, and I wasn't sure what color it was going to be until I opened the package. It turns out it was yellow and pink, which was absolutely perfect. So I'm just tucking that in around, and if you're going to give this to somebody, you just want to make sure you add this right before you give it to somebody, because I had these overnight, and the consistency and the color of the cotton candy was completely different the next day. Now I'm using the sprinkles that were on top of the Funfetti Pillsbury icing. I tried to make eyes with different things, and nothing turned out. The sprinkles were the perfect colors to match the rest of it, so I just sprinkled the sprinkles on the other half of the cupcake. So now we are finished with cupcake number 1, the unicorn cupcake. And this is all of the things that were used to make the unicorn cupcake. Next, I made the high heel shoe. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record, and I got no footage of me making this. But basically, you do it the same as the first cupcake, and I put cotton candy over the whole thing. I added one of these Dollar Tree icing tiaras. I used a flat cookie and a cylinder cookie and held it all together with icing. These are most of the things I used for the high heel cupcake, minus one of the cookies you'll see later. The third cupcake is a mermaid cupcake. And you can see I used the starburst again and the emoji marshmallows again. So for the mermaid cupcake, I added blue food coloring to the remaining icing, again from the Dollar Tree. And you'll see here in a little bit, I had some leftover green icing that I add to it. I was going to make a fourth cupcake, but it did not turn out. So I'm going to just use the icing from that. And here I'm going to use my food chopper. These are the cookies I used for the sole of the shoe of the other cupcake. They're just flat, long cookies. So I'm using 4 cookies. I'm going to chop them and use them as sand for the mermaid cupcake. And I'll just set those aside for when we're ready to use those. And this is the biggest muffin I've ever seen, and it was at the Dollar Tree. It's a strawberry cream muffin. I didn't taste it. It looked really good, and it's actually too big for the ramekin I have. So I'm going to have to cut it down to make it fit. I actually think it would fit into 2 separate ones. So I'm just trying to make sure that the smooth part is on top. Then I'm going to pop it in the freezer for 10 to 15 minutes just to make it easier to put icing on it. And here we are, the green and the blue icing together made a really pretty color. It's almost like an ocean color. And I found that if I put a big glob of icing on top and just smoothed it down straight all the way around, it worked out really well. I'm going to use Starburst again to make the mermaid tail. It was pretty easy to use with the first round, so I thought I'd give it another try. And with these unicorn marshmallows, I thought they would be really cute seashells. To make the mermaid tail, for one piece of a Starburst, I formed it into a long, thin triangle. And then for the other piece, I formed it into what looked like a bow tie shape. And then I was able to connect them really easily. It was almost like working with Play-Doh. You can see I have a couple of Swedish fish from the Dollar Tree sitting there. I thought I had them out. I thought I might be able to use them, but it just didn't work. Now I'm ready to push the mermaid tail into the cupcake. And you can see it slowly falling over. So now I'm going to add the marshmallow seashells. And then with the leftover Starburst, I just rolled them in balls to make pearls. Now I'm going to stick a piece of marshmallow behind the tail. Hopefully it can prop it up there. But as you'll see, it doesn't last very long. So here is our mermaid cupcake so far. Now I'm taking the grind up cookie pieces and just putting it around the edge for the sand. Here we go. Here's our cupcake, but look at the tail. It's all fallen over. So now I'm going to go in and try to reinforce it. I took it out of the cupcake. I'm adding more Starburst to it to make it a little stronger. So that means I need to reshape it. And I've got icing everywhere. I also found that a cheese grater worked really well as far as texture, and it looked like scales. So now we have a little bit stronger tail. So now we have another new improved tail on the cupcake. But yet, that's still not good enough. It still wanted to fall over. So I found these straws that I purchased at the Dollar Tree, snipped off the end piece of it, and then tucked it underneath the tail. And it was a perfect fix. So now we have 3 cupcakes that were all made with items purchased at the Dollar Tree. They were fun, they were quick, and you'll have to try it out.